Welcome to the True Mark, the abilities of the spirit. Like like I was talking to you earlier about, the abilities. If we don't have something to look forward to see anything outside of our box that we're living in,
Mm-hmm.
like by box means technically just outside of your area of your mind or whatever. Like I mean, I believe that, Jesus died on the cross so we could be forgiven, so we got a new beginning, new start. But
Yeah.
everybody has their opportunity to change their life. But if they don't have a spirit within them, well, like we all do have a spirit, but I mean, technically, something to bring that spirit out, to grow within ourselves, to have that opportunity to look outside of the area of what we're doing, our lifestyle, or anything in general. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter because anything you're doing can be better. And in
Mm-hmm.
order to make it better, if you have a greater inner thought and, like I say, spirit, like I mean, the Bible states it largely in there about, you know, the spirit. Like Jesus
Yeah.
brought it clearly that the spirit is within us and everybody has it, but maybe the cup's a little bit low and some people like myself, I was really empty for years. Like I mean, I had it, but I mean, I fell out of it because I fell into the worldly life. Like I like partying, I like doing the crazy things, and I wouldn't even say crazy at the time. I was young and wanted to live life the way I thought it
Yeah.
was good. God knew who I was because I told him I was gonna do what I was gonna do, and he blessed me with many things. Like I had businesses, I had houses, I had many things that I was blessed for. And like I said in many videos before, I had a poor education. Like how did I end up with all this stuff? People say you're street smart or whatever, and I don't believe that. I believe God brought it to me, gave it to me, and He could take it away from me. But I mean, He gave it to me because I needed it to live my life to where I was, to where He wanted me to be. And I've been watching the Bible, I've been watching shows. I like watching shows because I mean, I wasn't much of a reader, but the shows kind of brought me an opening of the Bible, and
Oh
and
yeah.
and it stuck with me, and through my life and journey of my life in general, I come to me where the spirit has to be fed, and when we did the Bible, or when I did the Bible and stuff, I had a different outlook on it. I thought, well, I'll put it in the stores. I'll,
Oh
become,
yeah. I remember that.
get lots of money off it and stuff. But I mean, it was at that moment, at that time, to me, it was just a book. But it wasn't a book. You know what I mean? It was,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, the way when I said I put it in the stores and all that, I looked at it as a book. But I mean, it has a
Yeah, I
purpose.
was gonna say you didn't see the
I
purpose in
didn't
it.
see the purpose of it. And now when I see the purpose, there's a big difference, of the book. It's not a book no more. It has a purpose. And it feeds my spirit. And that's a really great thing. Because now by feeding my spirit, my eyes are more open and I have the abilities to see that I didn't got to see.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said before, like even when things are bad and a storm's happening, you can see through that storm. You have to give you know, the trust in God and trust in Jesus, like, and trust in yourself, trust your spirit. But if your spirit's weak, you're not going to have the trust. But if your spirit's strong, you have the trust. You have the abilities to wade through anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
So it like back to like I was saying, like the spirit is the main thing, and Jesus died on that cross to bring that spirit. So if we're holding back and not striving to get that spirit, and and it's pretty easy to know where your spirit is, because if you're living in truth and you're trying to live in truth and you're living in spirit, you're in a good journey. You're doing what's right, and it doesn't mean you're going to be perfect, but you're going to strive to become more perfect at what you're
Yeah.
doing, because your spirit's going to lead you to become that better person. Like before, you were leading maybe by spirit, but you're kind of going in and out, in and out. So you're not living by spirit fully.
Yeah.
But when you're living by fully, means you got to stay truthfully. You got to try to stay really truthfully, because if you bend the truth, that's you're bending the spirit. You're locking your spirit to be fed, and if you're not feeding it, by feeding it, it's going to open the doors. So you're going to have to try to be truthful.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
and if you're not being truthful, there's something wrong with the spirit. And if you're being truthful, not truthful, being truthful, and like when Jesus said, like we're part of a family member of God, and we're just a part time. But when you're living in truth and spirit, you're a full time member, and,
Oh, yeah.
and you're trying to become more open with yourself, and because you got to start by yourself first before you can't help anybody if you can't help yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So my recommendation is, when you find that place in your life where you're in the dark spot, you gotta go within again and see what you can do with your spirit. And once your spirit's being fed and you're being led, you're gonna go into better places in your life, and your life is gonna be more royally, more better.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're not gonna regret your past, because you're gonna have the future. The only way you're going to regret your past is you're living in the past. If you're living in the past, you're going to regret the past, because you're always living it.
Yeah, like you're.
So.
And then you tend to rewrite those past mistakes, and then you dwell on those, and then it's like a cycle.
Yeah, like you can't move forward. You can't make your relationship better because you're living in the past. You're always blaming. Oh, I'm blaming that person. I'm blaming them. But in the meantime, you got blame to yourself.
Exactly.
There's blame to both. It takes two to tangle. But I mean, but it only takes one to really feed the spirit to open doors. And when you could open the doors and show your person that you're trying to help and be there for people and try to help, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, sometimes people think that you're being more worse than being good, but letting go of something is freeing that person from a troubled thing, and by freeing them is doing good, because it gives them that abilities to look within their own spirit and see where their spirit's at, because their spirit's no different from any spirit. Because if spirit's fed, you're gonna see doors. The doors aren't gonna be doors. There's gonna be openings on all avenues and all places, and it depends on what you're reaching for. If your spirit's weak, you're gonna reach weak. If your spirit's strong, you're gonna reach strong. It's like a person, a human being that has a spirit and a non-spirit, but living in life and being taught. And if you're learning a business, you could do any business. There's not a business that you can't do. You can do almost anything. If you have the money within you, you could buy a franchise and just do what that guy has laid out to do, a template, and there's your business. But a spiritual person will have all opportunities to make their own business and have your own franchises. So people will come to you more because you're got more spiritual abilities.
Yeah, lots of people are attracted to that though, like physically, it pulls them towards the spirit, even though they can't realize that or comprehend it.
Yeah, because everybody has a spirit. Everybody in the world has a spirit, and that means everyone. It's just if it's lacking spirit, it's lacking abilities to move. It's like a bird with no wings. A bird could run around because they got no wings,
but they
got wings,
so
but
far.
they can't fly. Yeah, they're minimized, and that's with a person without the spirit. You're minimized to where you could go.
Mm-hmm.
and what you could pull into your life and what you could change your life and what you could help the next person or persons. And but mostly you got to help yourself. And once you help yourself, and like I said before, like on other cases, like I mean, Adam and Eve was here for a reason, but they had the tree of life, the opportunity. But when they broke the vows of what they were told not to do, they did it. So they kind of took them into the darkness. But they did it. But we know what they did, so we don't have to do what they did. We
Mm-hmm.
learn from what they did and take it to the next level with our spirit. But if you're fed, you're going to be able to see all the things that happen in that Bible. And whatever happened in that Bible could be changed today. And by a fed spirit, you're going to see the opportunities. Like right now, Jesus wants us to have the spirit and he wants us to live in truth. That's his way, the truth and life. And if we can't do that, and why can't we do that? And at least we can try to do it. If your spirit's fed, the doors are going to be open. So if the doors are open, you're already in your great journey.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, you have to have the abilities to have that, and we all have that. But if you're not feeding it, and you know, some people got churches to go to. A church is just a building. It's the worship in there, and it's the things that you go there to study the Bible. You're trying to you're hunger you're hungering for God. You're thirsty, and you want more and more, and that's a good way. But if you're just going to church, it's just a building. It's just no different. This is just a book. If you don't take the meaning of the book,
Exactly. Yeah.
so the whole idea, if like I said, we all have the spirit within us, but we're limited. Like if you only got so much in it, the door's only going to be open so wide. It'll be a crack. But if you have more spirit, the doors opening more and more and more.
Yeah.
So orderly to get that, you have to maintain your spirit to keep it fed and test your spirit. Like I mean, if it's not leading you in the right place, you're not in the right position, you're not doing something right. But if you're being led in a good way and truthful way, then you're doing what's, your spirit's being fed and you're growing widely. But if you're getting old and your spirit's weak and you're aged, like your outside shell is aged,
Oh yeah.
and then your spirit's limited, you're in trouble. You're in deep trouble. It's pretty simple to figure this out. Like it's like a 1, 2, 3. Like I mean, it's a simple system. Just look in the mirror. You can't lie to yourself.
Definitely. Yeah.
Can't lie to that person in the mirror. You could try to, but you're really seeing who you really are. So test your spirit. That's all I say. Like I mean,
And like, how do you I don't know. How do you ask people tell people how to test their spirit? I don't know how to
but
word this.
testing the spirit is like, what are you doing in your life? Are you stuck in and you can't get out? You're stuck in a way of life and you can't move forward. You're angry. You're sad. You're lonely, and you're just deep in a dark corner and you can't move forward. Well, then that's a dark spirit. Like I mean, a fed spirit, there's no doors. You got avenues. So if you're doing good deeds in your life, it doesn't mean doing good things for people all the time. If you're doing good for yourself and and your home, outlook. You got a positive flow, and you got a journey, and you're not lying. You're speaking truth, and you're living in spirit. That's energy. You're energized, and then you're doing right. But if you're capped and you don't see that stuff, and you're not living in truth, you're not living in spirit. It's that simple. It's very simple.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not going to be perfect.
No, exactly.
But I mean, a fed spirit's going to lead you to become more perfectionist. You're going to want to do right for yourself, and people will see. Like if you're doing right, if you're going out and doing this and then being a thief and doing bad things, well, people are going to recognize that. They're going to see it. You can't hide from your true being.
Yeah.
You know, for we are who we are. But like they say, like we get cloned into it. Like it's where you are. And they say who you hanging out with, but it doesn't matter who you're hanging out with. If your spirit's in a good place, you could be anywhere. It doesn't matter
Exactly.
where you
Yeah.
are, because your spirit is going to allow you to walk through anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be, well, just because I got a good spirit, so I'm going to be stay in a rich part of town,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. I can't be around bad people. I can't be around, oh, that person's not doing right.
Because those people just think they're too good for.
But they have the spirit no different. But if they see me in their area doing good things and talking to them, sharing the wealth with them, sharing things with them, they'll know that they're no different from who I am.
Exactly.
But if I'm moving from there, being here and going somewhere else and saying I'm better than everybody, we're all equal.
Exactly.
It's just that some of us are just running low on fuel.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Running low on fuel, but we're all equal. And some people that are out there are very wealthy and rich. It's okay to be rich and it's okay to be wealthy. But it's not okay to not to have that spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, God and Jesus and that Bible was all created to give us that spirit. And if you're lacking that spirit, wealth doesn't mean nothing. Because I mean, you got all the money and the luxuries, but you're sad deep inside and you're in a real dark spot and you can't shine within yourself and you can't look in that mirror, honestly look in that mirror, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because earth is okay, but when you die and earth is supposed to be a heavenly earth, no different from actually heaven. This is a practice error, a worldly place, but it's to bring the spirit open to us. No different from if we died and we go to heaven and we died and we have a real lack of spirit, well, you're going to be lacking wherever you go. You're not going to have the full-fledged powers or wherever. If you have all the money in the world here, it's only here.
Yeah.
Heaven is a spiritual thing. And even here, having the spirit within us is better than any money. Because money is good because God wants us to live good. He doesn't want us to live bad. He doesn't want us to live dirty and whatever. He wants us to be good because a good, healthy spirit, you're not going to want to be dirty.
Exactly.
You want to eat properly. You want to watch your diet. You want to have good, even if you can't get the proper food, you'll still look at the proper diet. And you're going to create a proper healthy. You're not going to be unhealthy because your spirit's not going to allow it, because your spirit's going to allow you to go into the right places. It's not going to want you to eat a bunch of bad stuff.
Yeah.
Because when your spirit's fed, it's going to lead you. He promised us that. So his word is good. It's good as gold. And he died on that cross so I could be forgiven. So now I got a new start. And by getting that start, feeding my spirit, the doors are all opening. And you think if I need money, think he's not going to give me money?
Exactly.
He gave me money when I was horrible. He gave me money, he gave me jobs. I had, lots of properties. I had businesses. I didn't just have them. He gave them to me because I asked for them. But I mean, I mistreated them. I misled them because my spirit was weak. But if my spirit was strong and better, I would have been able to monitor them. I would have been able to run them better. I would have did many things with them. But more so, it happened for a reason. So I got to learn my reason, but now I have a good spirit or better spirit. I'm learning spirit. I'm a growing spirit. So I have better opportunities. So my past is my past. I got my future. And that's the important thing. So when I die, the heavens are going to be open. Maybe I'm going to have some wings. I always known about some wings, but that, I really believe that's going to come.
Maybe it's a metaphorical thing.
It's possible. But I don't know, out there for everybody, everybody has an opportunity to have a better way of life and a better day, week, year, month, whatever, second. We all have that abilities. And to have sadness ain't always a bad thing. Sadness brings you joy. Because once you get that within you, that tears of having that spirit is going to bring tears also, but a happy tears,
Yeah.
not sad. So, and to look at a book or read a book or anything, whatever feeds that spirit, you got to remember if your spirit's leading you into being a good, better person and not lying, being truthful, you're doing the right thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Till next time.